A warm welcome to the channel. My name is James. This is the Asia Show, and if you do like the content, please do consider to like, subscribe and share this with your friends and maybe your neighbors as well. China, the Belt and Road Initiative. What is it? Well, China will go to developing countries and invest by basically giving them some money. But it's not giving, it's a loan. And these countries may not be able to get a loan from the or the IMF or the World Bank, but China gives these loans quite cheaply and with no restrictions. So it's an incentive for the government of that country to get a little bit of corrupt money in their pockets, and then they will have to give the money back. It's like any business. China's not doing it for free. China's not doing it for free. They want their money back. But what happens when the country cannot give their loan back? Does China go, okay, no problem, we'll just spend money and lose money? No. Which business is going to do that? Government is a business. It's the business of making money for the country, and hopefully the government of the country are the servants of the country for the people. So when you see pictures and videos like this, this is the dark side of the Belt and Road Initiative. Maybe this country in Africa was unable to pay its loan, so they have to give the resources of that country to China. And you can see some of the working conditions. I think they may be mining silver or gold or something like that, that China will get using the workforce there, but they wouldn't use Chinese workers in these conditions. Usually they would have Chinese workers there, but they're not going to work in these kind of conditions. They would do it like, you could say, cheap, very cheap labor. And all the proceeds go back to China. The poorer country in Africa is paying off the debt. People will call it a debt trap. And you could say many countries which are poorer, they may have these government officials, and the Chinese government may say, we'll give you $1 billion. So they say, okay, thank you very much. And a percentage of that will go into the back pockets of the politicians, so to speak. So they get richer, but the country gets poorer. Then they can't pay the loan of $1 million or $1 billion, whatever it is, and then they will take some of the resources. Yeah? It's like, as we said in the title, no consequences, no shame. And you would say they just don't care. If you look at this picture here, this was in Bangkok, I do believe last month, when they had the earthquake in Burma, and the earthquake shook Bangkok. This was a Belt and Road Initiative building being built by a company in China. I think it was the Chinese Railway Company Construction, whatever, building an administration building for the Thai government. And all the other buildings, all the big skyscrapers in Bangkok did not fall down, but this one did. And China gave a load of excuses, saying it's under construction, it wasn't ready, etc., etc. And even some people were caught stealing the papers of the actual building. Shoddy construction, corruption with the Chinese officials and maybe the Thai officials as well. And the building of poor quality, so when the earthquake came, it basically fell down. There are other stories that I've seen on the internet, like a railway from one place of that country to another place was not completed, or maybe the construction was pretty poor and some minor things happened and then the railway basically collapsed. I've heard all these kind of stories before, and I just wonder why a government would actually go with the Belt and Road Initiative. If you see a map of the BRI, as it's called, it would be the developing countries that would usually invest in this, but you would see Europe and America and Australia, no, they don't need it, and they definitely don't want it as well. So what do you think? Leave some comments in the section below. What do you think of the BRI? Here in Cambodia, in my city, in Siem Reap, there's a brand new airport, and it's been built by the Yunnan Investment Agency related to the BRI. And this is a tourist city where I live, and the airport now can take a 777, but the aeroplanes that they take are usually the small distance flights, the A320 or the 737, smaller planes. And the airfares have gone up. So if I want to fly to Thailand, for example, before it was like 160 American dollars. Now the cheapest is going to be, with luggage, about 220. And that, I would say, goes back into the BRI. It is actually a nice airport, and maybe this has been built very well, I don't know, but you do see so many of the BRI constructions, and the what they're doing to Africa in certain places is, you could say again, no consequences, no shame. It's all food for thought. God bless to all. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.